Welcome to classes by Inspire Physics. Today we have an experimental study of photoelectric effect. About photoelectric effect we have seen in the previous class. So Holwach and Leonard have conducted many experiments related to photoelectric effect. Now we will see their observations, the observations made by Holwach and Leonard. Now we have the experimental arrangement. This is an evacuated chamber, glass chamber. It is containing two metal plates. This is called emitter metal. It is containing the photosensitive surface. It may be coated with a zinc, lithium, sodium, potassium, etc. They are photosensitive metals. This is the collecting electrode. Across the collecting electrode and emitter and collecting electrode, we have a voltmeter connected and we have a micrometer also. Now to provide a potential difference between these 2 points, we are using a rheostat with a battery and rheostat. Now we have a commutator also. What's the need of commutator? If you want to reverse the polarity of the battery, we can use a commutator. This is our arrangement. Okay. So actually we are starting with the, we have a source of light kept here. So let S be the source of light. The source of light will produce light of a particular frequency. Okay. Now first we are going to study effect of intensity. So first observation is effect of intensity. Effect of intensity. We will see how intensity depends on effect of intensity. So we use light of different intensity. Now if we have 3 sources of light, one source is having 100 watt power, second is 200 watt power, third is 300 watt power. If we keep at a particle distance here, we just replace the light sources. 100 watt power light is giving more intensity, 300 watt power is giving more intensity compared to 200 watt and 100 watt power source of light. So likewise we can increase the intensity. So we will start with the 100 watt power light. Okay, it has got less intensity. Now 100 watt power light is falling on the, it is entering through the window. It is falling on the metal surface. This is the emitter surface. What will happen? The emitter will start to emit electrons. So initially, suppose we are not applying any voltage, the potential difference between them is 0. Now electrons will start to emit, a few electrons will be emitted. Then when these electrons are emitted, this collecting electrode will become a little bit positive. It is having positive potential because electrons are lost from the metal surface. So this positive, since this is positive, it is connected to this terminal also. So the collecting electrode also will be positive with respect to the emitting electrode. What happens? These electrons are attracted. Now a slight current will flow through the micrometer. We will get some current. Now what we will do, for the particular intensity of light, we have a photocurrent. Okay, we will plot a graph. We will plot a graph between intensity, see, along x-axis we will take intensity of light. Intensity of light. Here we will take photocurrent. Photocurrent we will take along y-axis. X-axis we have intensity. So we have initially we have a 100 watt bulb. 100 watt bulb is giving light of a particle intensity. Okay, and we are measuring the photocurrent. Let this represent corresponding photocurrent. Okay, corresponding photocurrent. Let this be the current and corresponding intensity is 100. Intensity corresponding 100 watt. Now gradually what we do is we will increase the intensity. We will use the next bulb having 200 watt. It is observed that more electrons will be emitted compared to that of 100 watt. We are not applying any potential difference now. Suppose potential is 0. We are not varying the potential. Or we can apply minimum potential. We can say minimum potential we apply. We are not increasing the potential too much. But what we are doing, we are just increasing the intensity of light. We are using different source of light having different power. Okay, so what happens is the intensity further, when we increase the intensity further, when we replace the 100 watt bulb with the 200 watt bulb, photocurrent gradually increases. We will get another point. Okay, now again we increase intensity. We use a 300 watt bulb. Again intensity increases, photocurrent increases. Now we will get another point. So when you plot, when we just join these lines, what we are getting is we will get a straight line. We are getting a straight line. And the meaning of this graph is that the intensity of light is directly proportional to photocurrent. When we increase the intensity of light, the photocurrent also increases. That's our first observation. Now, to increase or decrease the intensity, we have one more method. If you have only one source of light, you place the source of light very close to the window. The intensity will be large. When we move far away from the window, the intensity gradually decreases. In that manner also, we can carry out the same experiment. So, to study the effect of intensity, so it is seen that the intensity of light is directly proportional to photocurrent. During the experiment, two things you need to remember. We are keeping the frequency of light source same frequency we are using. Okay, even though we are using a bulb of three different powers, 100, 200 and 300 watt, the frequency, color of the light will be same. Frequency will be same, and potential also we are keeping at a constant value. We can either keep it at 0 value or at a particular constant value. Even though the external potential is 0, there will be photocurrent. Photocurrent value may be slightly less. Okay, that's the effect of intensity. So what you have understood from this? Intensity of light is directly proportional to photocurrent. Okay. Now we have second experiment. Actually, this is conducted together. Second observation. We'll vary. What we will vary is we'll keep the intensity constant, and what we are going to vary is we'll vary the potential difference. Okay. So second we will see effect of potential. Effect of potential. Now also we will not change the frequency of source of light. The same source we will use, we will not change the frequency. Frequency is kept constant. Now we can say for these two variations we keep the frequency constant. Means we are using a bulb which is emitting a light of a particular color. We will not vary the color. Whenever the color changes, frequency also will change. So same frequency, we keep the frequency constant. Now what happens for a particular intensity? For example, I am using a 100 watt bulb. I use 100 watt bulb of a particular frequency. The light is falling on this. Now for plotting the graph, we will draw the axis. Okay, we can draw the axis. So along x-axis we have potential. We have negative potential also. This is 0. And here we have photocurrent. Photocurrent. Okay, we have photocurrent. Now we will keep the potential 0. We'll start with the 0 potential. Light of particle intensity fall on the photosensitive surface. We are using 100 watt bulb. So particle intensity of light is falling on this. A few electrons will be emitted. It will register a small amount of current. A small current is produced. Now we can mark that point here. A small current is produced. This small current. Okay. Now what we will do? We will increase the potential. So we will start with the potential here. We apply positive potential and here negative potential. What happens? The electrons are accelerated towards the positive potential. The amount of current also increases. So we gradually increase the voltage, increase the potential difference. Means we are accelerating potential difference, we are increase accelerating potential. We are applying an accelerating potential at the beginning. So we have positive potential here, negative potential here. We increase the potential, and it is observed that the photocurrent also gradually increases. But at a particular voltage, the photocurrent is becoming steady. It cannot increase further. The photocurrent is becoming steady. Okay. So further, even though if we increase the potential, now electrons can reach on the surface maximum. It is maximum level. So we can call this current is called the saturation current. This is the saturation current. Now what we will do? Now we will stop increasing of potential. Now what we will do is we will start to decrease the potential. From 0 we will decrease. Means we decrease to 0. Now we start to reverse the potential. Using the commutator we reverse the potential. Now here we will have a negative potential and here will be positive potential. Even though we reverse, a few electrons can be collected here because those few electrons having large kinetic energy can reach here. Even though we are trying to repel by applying a negative potential, a few electrons will reach here. But when we increase the negative potential, what happens is the photocurrent goes on decrease. You can see at a particular negative potential, the photocurrent becomes 0. This negative potential which we apply is called, we are just calling it by a particular name, that is called a stopping potential. So what is V0 called? It is called a stopping potential. So what is stopping potential? It is a negative potential or it is a retarding potential which we apply to stop even the electrons with the largest kinetic energy. Electrons are emitted with a different kinetic energy. Some electrons are emitted with a large kinetic energy, some with a small kinetic energy. Even the highest energy electrons are not able to reach here. We'll just repel by applying a negative potential here. Okay, so by the negative potential we can repel. So this particular potential is given a name called as stopping potential. So I have told you that initially we have used a light of 100 watt. So we are keeping the intensity fixed and frequency also kept fixed. Same color of light and same power. And we have got the graph. Now what we can do, I'll just mark the intensity as I1. I1 be the intensity. Now we just further increase the intensity. We use another bulb of same color. We will not change the color. Suppose we can use 200 watt bulb. Now again 200 watt bulb, we just replace the bulb with the 200 watt bulb. Same distance. Now same frequency. We make the potential 0. By adjusting rheostat potential 0. Now what we can see is the current is slightly above. See, this will be the current value. Why this current value is larger? When we increase the intensity, the photocurrent value should be large, should increase. We are getting a large current. Then we gradually start to increase the accelerating potential. Means here positive, here negative. We'll increase the accelerating potential. So as we have seen here, we can see that the photocurrent increases. Then it becomes a steady value, as we have seen in the previous case. Okay, similar type of graph we can see for next intensity, that is I2. How can you compare these two? See, I2 is greater than I1. Okay, so when we increase the intensity, the saturation current is large. So saturation current is large compared to that of intensity I1. Okay, so we have increased. Now afterwards there is no further increase. That's called the saturation current. Even though we increase the potential, there is no further increase. Now what we will do, we will decrease the potential to 0. Then we start to apply reverse potential. We make here negative, here positive. We are using the commutator, we reverse the potential. Now we just start to apply a reverse potential, increase the reverse potential, and it is seen that here also at a particular potential, the same potential, the photocurrent becomes 0. Okay, the photocurrent is becoming 0 at the same stopping potential. See, for the different intensities of light, we have drawn these two graphs. But the stopping potential is independent of the intensity. There's no relation between the intensity and the stopping potential. Okay, so what we need to understand from this, even if you increase or decrease the intensity of light, then the energy is not changing. Energy of the light does not change. When we increase the intensity, we can say that if you consider a wave, the amplitude will increase. When amplitude increase, intensity also increase. But it does not increase what? The energy. Okay. Now we have told about the stopping potential. If V0 is a stopping potential, what is the energy corresponding to the stopping potential? If you multiply the charge of the electron Q, charge, it will be energy. Now we can say it is equal to, it is used to stop electrons of largest, even the largest kinetic energy. We can use a relation mv square max. Okay, EQ V0 is equal to half m into V square max. V0 is called a stopping potential. Q is the charge of the particle, and this is the maximum kinetic energy of the electrons emitted. So one important conclusion we can make here, the stopping potential is independent of what? Intensity of light. Whatever may be the intensity of light, the stopping potential is same. Provided during the experiment, we are not changing the frequency of light. We have a light of same color, but we just use, initially we have used 100 watt bulb, here we have used 200 watt bulb, but even though we are changing the intensity, but there is no effect on the stopping potential. Okay, so what we can conclude from this, electrons of different kinetic energy will be emitted. Then to stop the electrons with the largest kinetic energy, the minimum potential we need to apply is called retarding potential we need to apply is called stopping potential. Okay. Now we will see the effect of frequency. That's our third experiment, third observation. Effect of frequency. Effect of frequency. While we are studying the effect of frequency, same graph we will make, photocurrent and potential. Okay, we need to study about. See, we have the similar type of graph. Here we have potential. Potential we take along x-axis, along y-axis we take photocurrent. photocurrent. Okay, this is the potential zero value. Now what we will do is frequency. We will start with a particular frequency. We will not vary the intensity. We use, for example, 100-watt bulb we are using. We are not varying the intensity. We use a particular color. For example, a blue color light we are using. But the intensity is same. We are not varying the frequency. Now what we will do? For this particular frequency, we just increase the potential. Now we will get a graph like this from this smaller value. Initially we will start with 0 potential. We can see that it is increasing like this. Okay, it is becoming a steady value. Okay, so we are increasing the potential, but there is no much effect. Slightly it will increase in the beginning, but thereafter it is becoming steady. So it will increase like this. So initially we have a for 0 potential we have some photocurrent. When you increase the potential, the photocurrent increases. We are getting a graph like this, and this is called a saturation current. So here we can make saturation. This is saturation current. This is also saturation current. For intensity 1, this is saturation current. Intensity 2, this is the saturation current. Okay. Now we can say this is a saturation current. This current is called saturation current. This value is called saturation current. Now what we will do? We will decrease the potential so as to become 0. Now we will start to apply the reverse potential for a particular frequency. Let me say frequency is a new one. For the frequency new one, we just apply the reverse potential, and it is observed that at a particular potential it becomes 0. Okay, this is our stopping potential. So light of particular frequency nu 1 is falling on the surface of a particular color. The intensity is remaining constant. We vary the potential. When we reduce the potential, we can see that at a particular potential, this potential is called a stopping potential. Now we can give a name for this potential. I just give V01. Stopping potential corresponding to a frequency nu 1. Now what we will do? With the same intensity, for example 100 watt, we take another source of light, another color. So we need to change the frequency. Suppose we increase the frequency. We have another source of light having large frequency, same power, means same intensity. So we will place it here. So we are using another frequency. It is nu 2. Okay. We have another frequency nu 2. It is observed that we make the potential 0. Potential is 0. We have another frequency. We are not changing. We are not what we are not changing. We are not changing the intensity. Intensity is same. Now we will get a similar graph. Similar to this, we will get a graph. But what we can see is, the stopping potential is different. It is V02. Means when frequency increase, here we have increase in frequency. Nu 2 is greater than nu 1. What about the stopping potential in magnitude? Stopping potential also increases. But saturation current is the same because intensity is same. Okay, the maximum current will be the same. Because intensity is same, saturation current does not change. But what about the stopping potential? Means when the frequency of light, incident light has more frequency, it is carrying more energy. So electrons with a large energy will be emitted. To stop those electrons with a large kinetic energy, we need to apply large value potential. Okay, let us do one more experiment. We will increase the frequency. Okay, we will another frequency we are using nu 3. I can say nu 3 is greater than again nu 2. Okay, nu 1, then nu 2. More than nu 2, we are applying nu 3. Okay, now again what we observe, we are having similar graph like this. See, we have another stopping potential which is much more compared to this. See what happens here. The stopping potential increases for incident light of energy. When incident light energy of incident light increases, same intensity, but when you increase the energy of incident light, the stopping potential also increases. Okay, but what happens here? Saturation current is same. So we can say the intensity of light depends on the photocurrent. Saturation current depends on intensity of light. But the stopping potential, what's the meaning of that? Electrons with a large kinetic energy will be emitted when we increase the frequency of light. So frequency of light depends on, actually for a source of light, it will emit light waves of particular frequency. When the frequency increases, the energy also increases. So what we are getting? We are getting a graph like this. So we have seen three variations. Variation of photocurrent with the intensity of light, effect of potential with the different intensities, keeping intensity constant. frequency constant, we have carried out the experiment. For different two intensity it is seen. When intensity increases, what happens? Photo current, saturation current is increasing, but stopping potential is the same. So stopping potential is independent of what? Intensity. Means if you vary the intensity of light, there is no change in the energy of the light. So stopping potential need to be the same. But here, when we increase the frequency of light, what we need to do? We need to increase the stopping potential, because electrons of more kinetic energy will be emitted if we increase the frequency of the incident light. So we are getting a graph like this. This is the third graph. Okay. So we have three observations. So we can make a few conclusions based on these observations of the experiments done by Hallberg and Lenard. So which are the basic observations? First observation is intensity of light is directly proportional to photo current. Then stopping potential is independent of the intensity. Okay, whatever the stopping potential is same, but when we increase the intensity of light, stopping potential also increases. Saturation current is the same. Saturation current actually depends on the intensity of light. So electrons of different kinetic energy will be emitted. We cannot say particle kinetic electrons of particle kinetic energy is emitted. Electrons of different kinetic energy will be emitted. If we increase the intensity of light, the energy of electrons will be the same. But if we increase the energy of the light, means by increasing frequency of light, we can say that the stopping potential is large, because the electrons of more and more kinetic energy will be emitted from the photoelectric metal surface. Okay, so that's about the photoelectric emission and different graphs. We have seen the variation with the intensity, variation with the potential, and variation with the frequency. Okay, thank you.